If this message found you, then you are transitioning from seeking and receiving guidance from external systems and activating and assembling your own inner guidance system. I have a message for you guys today from the astral that would suggest just that. So, if this message resonates with you, then trust that there's something here for you. I already set the intention that it finds who it needs to find. And so here we go. All right. So in the astral, it was dark. The setting was dark. It was outdoors. And well, it began outdoors. You're having a conversation with a masculine energy, and he seems to be a teacher of some sort. And you guys are having an intimate conversation. You're getting to know each other. He appears to like you and you like him, but he's having trouble communicating. Like he wants to, it's obvious he wants to communicate something to you, but is kind of reluctant. And all of a sudden you lean in and it's on. Okay. You lean in and you kiss him, and he's kind of surprised by the kiss, but at the same time relieved. So from that moment, it seems to transition from outdoors to indoors, but it's still dark, and he still hasn't given you the message. And all of a sudden a rush of students come in the door, and a group of students, and you two are interrupted, and he's all of a sudden left to, hello sir. He's all of a sudden, I hope he doesn't start getting loud and bugabooing. He's all of a sudden left to contend with the students, and you have no choice but to, to put it on hold and leave. Next part, in this liminal space, there's also a shop, a convenience store. It's like a mom and pop shop in the middle of this wooded outdoors area, and it has a handwritten sign on it that says Costco, but it's a mom and pop shop where the townspeople come to get anything they need, all the goods. Although there doesn't appear to be any monetary exchange, but there is an exchange of some sort, rather it be energetic. It's not clear, but it comes to your realization that the teacher has come up missing. The teacher has disappeared. And when this teacher comes up missing, the store, the shop closes up. And it just so happens that the shop is ran by the teacher's family. So you decide you're going to go investigate. So you sneak into the shop, and there's nobody in there. It's dark. It's dimly lit, though, from the light coming in from outside. So there's kind of like a warm glow, seemingly warm glow, but no people in there. And you notice a black cat. The black cat seems to know you and have a relation to you, but he's just sort of observing and watching and sitting there. And you notice an assembly of, so you walk over and you notice these mechanical like puzzle pieces. They look kind of like cogs, and you start assembling these cog-like mechanical puzzle pieces, and then music begins to play, kind of nondescript. It doesn't have lyrics. There's no lyrics, but it's just sound music that's playing. And as the music starts playing, these pieces, these mechanical pieces, become magnetic and start snapping into place as you're assembling it. It's snapping into place faster and faster because of the magnetic pull or draw. And you realize that it begins to create the image of like a 2D mechanical black cat. And as you're assembling this cog puzzle, this mechanical puzzle, these stick-like chickens, these chickens start to descend from the ceiling, and but real chickens. They're not like organic chickens. They seem to be like stick figure, again, mechanical chickens. And you leave. You realize it's weird. You're not frightened. You're not, but you leave. You realize, you're done there. Hang. All right, I keep getting interrupted. Apparently, I took too long to start recording, and now he's awake. We're going to get into some of the symbolism. First off, it was dark throughout the whole thing, very dark lighting, and the dark almost always represents the subconscious layer, and the deepest, most inner parts of your psyche, as well as exploration of your intuition and your psyche. So it could it could also represent something not yet fully seen or understood in that space. It felt less like fear and more like curiosity, and also it felt like a hidden layer of your psyche. And then also, even though it was a hidden layer, it was like an awareness, and it wasn't chaotic or scary. It was just undefined, and I would even go so far as to say unrefined, because the setting that it started out in, outdoors, it had kind of like a wild element to it. It was dark, and it was outdoors with trees around, so it was like it had a kind of a wild element in it. It's not something that would strike you as the norm in waking life, going to school at night outdoors. It didn't quite fit. There was something off about the whole thing. And then with the store being out in the middle of nowhere too, in the same type scene, and being the one shop in town that catered to everyone and calling itself Costco. It didn't give off a lower frequency type vibe. There wasn't any chaos to it. So it was more so like represented a neutral, liminal space where communication and contact can happen, but it wasn't fully stabilized yet. And then the teacher had aspects to him that seemed shy or reluctant. Most guides come up as clear and direct, even if they're communicating in symbolic language, not easily interrupted. Even though he felt familiar, he was hesitant and nervous. So it gave off a vibe that he wasn't fully anchored. It seemed to be that it wasn't a higher level guide, either a mid level astral entity, or still within a system or a construct, would most strongly imply, since he was connected to the store through his family and disappeared when the shop closed. It could also represent a fragment of your own inner guidance system, specifically a masculine directive trying to speak to you or organize or give a message, but hasn't fully found his voice. So it could very much so be a new guide. Take it how it resonates, could come across as any of those three scenarios. The kiss. Think of the kiss again, less romantic in this regard, more so like energetic consent. You didn't wait for you noted that he was reluctant and hesitant to give the message, and so you didn't wait. You gave consent, communicating that you were open and willing and ready to receive whatever information he had to give. It was more so energetic and less romantic than anything. Think of it as um, energetic merging, and that the kiss basically overrides his hesitance with your openness to receive. And then you're interrupted. The signal is interrupted by the students coming in which could represent competing frequencies. Also could be protective blocks within yourself that's preventing a message from getting to you. So you got pulled out of the frequency before the message could fully land or transmit. And then you have the store. So the store is shows up as this it could be considered like an energetic grid, or again a construct where it's formed by, this is where things get a little bit deeper, because constructs are interesting to me because it's not easily changeable. They're not changeable within the dreamscape because they are programs written in or scripted, which is really interesting. So the store, it provides everything. There's no money exchanged. So what's being exchanged? It's run by the teacher's family. It feels cult-like because it's the one-stop shop that all the townspeople come to. It calls itself something familiar. It looks small but identifies as being large. Think of it like a shared belief field or a closed loop energetic supply system, like a church or a place where people gather, a large amount of people gather and share and hold the same beliefs or belief systems. It's kind of like again, a collective energy grid. It could also represent, if not something external, it could represent internal programming that is represented or created through programs and constructs that support identity and comfort or structure. It's something that feeds people but subtly controls access. So the guide is connected to the system. And again, he disappears when, and then the shop closes up. So this would imply that there's a detachment from external guidance. And when he vanishes, access is restricted to everyone. This is a turning point, though, that suggests you're moving away from external guidance systems and tapping into and assembling your own inner guidance system. When the music turned on, it started to activate and become faster and assemble itself. A self assembly type deal. It was just snapping into place as if each piece knew where to go and where it belonged. You sneak in. That shows conscious astral agency. Try saying that 10 times. And it shows that you didn't wait. You didn't wait for permission. You weren't afraid. You were willing to go in and investigate and go deeper and look behind the curtain, beneath the surface, get information. You showed your own authority and agency in that regard, and you didn't wait for permission. You're awakening your own authority and your spiritual agency and sovereignty. The assembly, that represents the inner alchemical process and mechanism within. You're putting together this mechanical cat. And cats, of course, especially black cats, spiritually symbolize mysticism, magic, intuition, magnetism, spirituality, intelligence, your intuitive nature becoming structured. This implies that your intuitive nature is becoming structured and precise and functionable and self-powered. So it's like a graduation. It's an integration, self-directed, innate. This is the evolution from not just spiritual sensitivity, but system mastery, not only mastery of your own system, but not giving away that agency to other external systems. It reminds me of a message that I plan on recording next, which has to do with your body being your compass and your map, as well as your mission statement. So I won't get into it now. It's going to be another video, but it's your body coming online and really needing to get in tune with it in order to tap into your inner guidance and your intuition and etc. All right, so then there's the descending chickens. The descending chickens represents an intrusive frequency, something disruptive, like my cat right now. Hey, hey, back up. I'm gonna get you. It's not near, oh, 3:33 on the clock. It's not nearly time for a snack. Not yet, sir. You may as well go take a nap. Mm-mm. I'll go when he wants to eat. It's not time to eat. All right, 3:33 though, huh? So the mechanical chickens, it represents it. First of all, it comes through right after activation. So it comes through as almost this like this disruptive energy, and it's kind of comical and absurd and false and fake. So it seems to be out of place and distorted, controlled. It reminds you that uh, something is clearly seen as unaligned, it's misaligned and distorted and no longer, no longer hidden. It's, you could see it in plain sight, false and created or mechanical. There's no life to it. It's not nourishing or fulfilling or able to provide any sustenance to anyone. It just comes through as this disruptive frequency. So at that point, you leave, you recognize it, and you leave. You're not scared. You came, you saw, and then you hightail it out. And that's basically the message, the symbolism breakdown of the imagery and the interactions within that liminal space. What it really implies is, especially, at the end, leaving, that's using discernment to recognize, it wasn't fear, it was discernment, recognizing something out of alignment and leaving. You didn't have to engage with it, you didn't have to protect yourself, you didn't have to, there was nothing to do. You didn't have to engage with it at all. You simply removed yourself from the area. It's energetic discernment. So the systems that are coming online within you not only show a strengthening in your discernment, but giving your awakening to your own inner authority and power, and recognizing your own inner guidance within, and even higher guidance. So the teacher didn't complete the message, because the message is that you're moving into a phase where you're building the system yourself. You're no longer reliant on pre-built systems. And again, take this how it resonates, but I'm picturing all of these huge, large corporations, government, so much is getting exposed with the so-called elites and people in power, people that we've given our power away to in order to provide whatever protection, knowledge, truth, justice, any of these things. And when it's revealed that none of it can be trusted, the only place you have to turn to is within, and God, the unseen, your faith, your own truth, your own value system. When I think of this construct, this small mom and pop shop calling itself Costco, I think of churches and, operating as, I'm not bashing churches, but um, we do have often incongruencies with with leaders and guides and teachers who don't always practice what they preach, don't embody what it is that they're teaching, and distorting it to fit an agenda or their own personal motive, however that may look, or corrupted by greed, the motivation of control, money. It's awakening to your own inner truths, because sometimes when it's revealed to you that what you have trusted in can't be trusted, the only thing you can do is go within. So what can you do? What is the practical advice here? The practical advice here is to lean into and develop a practice, your own practice, a practice of meditation, body mining, getting connected with your body. In the astral, the message was clear that when the activation was initiated by music, that would imply, and music is frequency. We're affected by frequencies. We emanate ourselves a frequency. So I I would suggest using music intentionally to get into a meditative state, to ground, to get into your body, to um, get connected to your inner guidance. There's solfeggio healing frequencies that you can use, different hertz to help balance and heal and release certain areas in the energetic channels and in your energetic body. Moving also helps to release and ground. I like ecstatic dance because you don't have to know how to dance to do ecstatic dance. It really is just getting into a rhythm and a feeling and allowing yourself to move non-judgmentally. It's so freeing. There's something so liberating about moving your body organically and artistically without any judgment or fear or restriction. There's something liberating about that. Also, breath work, chanting, visualization, anything that can help you get in tune with your higher inner guidance, how you can strengthen it and develop a relationship to your higher guidance. Again, use sound intentionally. It'll help. Let the imagery form when you're listening to music, let the imagery form in your mind without force or overthinking, and let that be your guide too and help you to connect to that right side of your brain. I keep saying I'm going to do a video of the energy at play right now, where we're in Aries season, and this whole month is an energetic powerhouse. We have 8 planets, not as of right now, but soon. We have 8 planets that are going to be all in the sign of Aries, or 7 planets, including the sun. So 8 luminaries in the sign of Aries just this month, working with no retrogrades, mind you, working with us. We're also going to have Mars in Aries, where of course it's domiciled. It's a lot of volatile energy that, if it's not channeled, it could turn explosive. It's best to consciously have a way to regulate your nervous system and channel that that excessive energy and momentum into something creative and less destructive. That's going to be another video, but this message applies. Doing any of these things, breath work, dance, chanting, visualization, meditation, all of these things will help integrate with some of these energies at play right now that may seem at times overwhelming or too much. All right, so congratulations. That's our message. Congratulations. You are graduating. You have graduated. If this message found you and it resonates with you, know that you are becoming a spiritual warrior, and your intuition is strengthening, your discernment is strengthening, your energetic boundaries are strengthening, and you're becoming your own authority. All right, so trust your instincts. If something feels off, overstimulating, forced, manipulative, misaligned, don't take it on. Don't engage. Don't even engage. That's going to be another test point with this energy at play. Kind of have an aggressive undertone to it. Not kind of, it has an aggressive undertone to it. So don't allow yourself to get caught up, or don't give into the rage bait. Find ways to, again, ground yourself and stay calm and balanced. Think equilibrium. Balance is going to be key. All right, and that's protection, not avoidance. Protect your peace, protect your energy, and protect yourself physically. So that's the message from the astral. I now want to pull a few cards for you guys from traditional Rider Waite, because the Fool, we're in Aries season, and I'll show you the cover. This is why I'm using, where is it? Oh, anyway, this is why I'm using traditional Rider Waite, because of the Fool. See how he's on the cover right here? And the Fool is Aries energy. It's Aryan energy. I always confuse myself when I say, well, it's the Fool that's on the cover, but there is no cover. So that's what I mean. All right, and then after that, we're going to pull from Astral Realms, because our message was from the Astral. All right. What messages do we have to further guide for their highest good, the highest good of all? Shush! Let's see what comes out. Right away. Four of Pentacles. Uh-oh. That card flew out. Do I want to go get it? Jeez. Alright, let's see what flew out. Hang on. Shush. Woof. I'm wearing my heart chakra shirt. Death flew out, y'all. Y'all know death is about transformation, rebirth. So you really are in a transformational process and rebirthing into a higher vibration version of yourself. The Four of Pentacles came out first. The Four of Pentacles is about control and holding on too tightly. Recognizing systems of control, and where you've been controlled, and maybe setting energetic boundaries, not be used as a pawn or an energetic source to feed other systems. When I see this, for some reason, it reminds me of protecting your energy and not allowing yourself to feed other systems, not allowing yourself to be a source of food. Loosh, protect your energy. The Five of Cups also came out. The Five of Cups in this regard reminds me of releasing and letting go of all the versions of yourself that no longer serve and that are outdated. The Five of Cups is a card of grief, sadness, regret, loss. if you look, you see those 3 cups spilled, but the 2 cups are still standing. The 3 cups, 3 of cups is like celebration, happiness, joy coming together. Those are fallen down. And then the 2 of cups are still standing, though. That's about union, divine union. And the more you can release and let go of old pain and wounds and process these things, process sadness, grief, and let go of all of whatever you're holding on to that no longer serves its purpose for your evolution, the closer you can get to um, a state of union and closer to your soul. 2 of Cups usually represents a soul bond with another, but it can also represent closer to your higher self and your soul, closer to your true soul's essence. And then death is transformation and rebirth. Allow the transformation, allow whatever is misaligned to die away in order for your to be reborn into something of a higher vibrational frequency, not only a higher vibrational frequency, but a higher version of self that is awakening to your sovereignty and your own authority and spiritual connection to source and the God particle within. So that's what we have for our tarot. High Priestess, just on the split, High Priestess is your intuition, your inner knowing, and guidance system. That's appropriate. All right, so let's pull from the astral, and then I'm going to leave you guys. Hopefully this message didn't go too long. I think I may have stopped it, so I'm not sure. All right, one more shuffle like that. The high is good, the high is good of all. Wish the lighting was better. I feel like it's bright and dark. It's like a imbalance of lighting. Oh, cool. Ooh. Discipline, Saturn. Ooh. 30, Azurite. So Azurite is the crystal. Oh, by the way, it's Astral Realms Crystal Oracle. Azurite is the crystal, and discipline. It is a card of discipline. Again, I'm not going to do an energy update on this video, but with all of the energy at play and being in Aries season, Aries represents the first house, which has to do with identity, the self, the ego. It's a heavy emphasis, especially with all of the planets lining up in this sign in this month. It's a heavy emphasis on needing self-mastery, master your emotions, have self-control and balance and temperance, and really be conscious and deliberate with your actions and communications. You know, Aries can be an impulsive energy all on its own, and with all of the other energies at play, including Saturn in Aries, Saturn, in this regard, though, Saturn kind of acts as kind of like a barrier, a block, because otherwise you have all this momentum and full speed ahead, and Saturn is kind of there to put the kibosh on things and some structure that can help aid in disciplining yourself, and um, allowing yourself to stop and stare. Anyway, I'm gonna read this. 30, which is reduces to a 3 in numerology. 3 is about abundance and creation. Discipline, Azurite. It'll help if you have Azurite. Do I have Azurite? I think I do. I'll show you what it looks like. It's actually a pretty pricey crystal, but it's powerful and beautiful. All right, in order to function in the pressured, instantaneous society we have created for ourselves, discipline is an essential part of daily life. We have become conditioned to expect immediate results, but that's not how life really operates. In order to achieve your dreams, goals, and desires, you must buckle down and get ready to face the hardships that come along on the road to success. One planet to see you through this process is Saturn, your biggest supporter but toughest teacher. Saturn represents the limitations, hardships, and blockages you face in this lifetime and past lifetimes. As the ruler of time, Saturn will put you through trials and tribulations in order for you to learn pertinent lessons and come out on top with newly gained wisdom and maturity. Working with Saturn's energy is slow, but the results are long lasting, and you will be able to manifest things physically when you work with its energy. Although Saturn's lessons are hard and sometimes even brutal, they are necessary lessons. Face it head on. Do not fear it. Use crystals around you, such as azurite, a sacred stone for communication with your spirit guides, to aid in your work with Saturn's energy. When associated with the third eye chakra, azurite assists in awakening your psychic abilities. When used with the throat chakra, it helps to recognize your intuition and removes energy or communication blockages and roadblocks in your progress. Azurite is a great tool to use during meditation to clear your mind and allow you to go deep within yourself and clearly receive intuitive messages. It also assists in relieving your phobias and any negativity looming in your thoughts and helps ease the blow of Saturn's tough lessons. Activation guidance. Ask and answer the following questions. What are some lessons that Saturn has taught you? How are these lessons seemingly karmic? If these lessons keep presenting themselves to you, what is a new approach you can take to experience a preferential outcome? Affirmation. I am working slowly with discipline to learn the lessons Saturn is teaching me. And that's what we have. I'm going to show you azurite and then I'm going to leave you guys there. This is azurite. You probably can't tell in this busted lighting, but it's a really beautiful royal blue. Royal? It's like, this is my favorite color blue ever. I can't even describe it. It's, hopefully you can see it well. Lightweight, pricey. All right, I'm going to leave you there. I hope this message resonated with you. If it did, please feel to let me know how it resonated with you. I'd love to hear from you. It helps me, it helps the channel, helps others who may come across it, and helps create a community, which is the ideal here. All right. If you haven't already, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, keep on rising, y'all.